This bout is scheduled for 6 rounds, middleweights. Your referee from Tampa, Florida, Brian Gary. Introducing first, in the red corner to my left, wearing the black trunks with gold accessories, he weighs 153¼ pounds. He is undefeated in 4 professional bouts with 3 knockouts. From St. Petersburg, Florida, Winky Wright. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks, red and white trim. He weighs 153½ pounds. Professional record, 2 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw. From Fort Pierce, Florida, Glenn Major. 6 rounds, middleweights.
Okay, gentlemen, I'll be the 3rd man in the ring with you. I'll be in charge of the bout at all times. Understand? Listen to my commands. Avoid the use of your head. Okay, if you score a knockout.
And we'll take a look at the tail of the tape for these 2 middleweights. Winky Wright at 5'10". Glenn Major, the taller of the 2, has a slight reach advantage, and that may help him out tonight, as Winky Wright is a very slick boxer puncher. And the rules, the auspices of the Florida Boxing Commission, 10-point must system in effect, 3 knockdown rule also, and the fighter cannot be saved by the bell. And we're underway in round 1. Freddie Winky Wright comes in as a very highly touted fighter, was a solid amateur, and now undefeated as a pro with 4 fights.
Certainly landed 2 solid shots. The left-hand style will bother a newcomer like Glenn Major. We'll see how he takes advantage of it. With the lack of experience he's got, the best thing he can do is attack and see how he comes out.
One of the big keys in this fight to watch for, Winky Wright had a broken left hand, kept him out of action for a while. Last time we saw him, he had a cast on that hand. He comes in tonight, looks like he's throwing bombs from the outset.
Well, he's teeing off on a man that's not as fast as he is. Off the appearance of these first few seconds, he is still got a lot to learn, whereas Winky looks like he's got a good future, good solid future. He's fast. He knows how to combine punches. These combinations are good.
Cozy Glenn Major in the blue trunks with the white stripe. And Winky Wright, 4-0, 3 knockouts in the black trunks. And Major having trouble in the early going, solving the southpaw style of Toronto Winky Wright.
Well, he might as well let it all lay out here at the beginning, because he's outclassed when it comes to boxing talent. They bumped heads, and the referee, Brian Gary, has told him, watch those heads.
Glenn Major looks a little cold here in the opening minutes of round 1. He's fighting going backwards, which is a difficult thing to do for anybody, even Muhammad Ali, probably the only guy who was able to do that successfully.
Especially fighting a slick left-hander who's outspeeding and outthinking him. Now this is what he's got to do, stand here and brawl with this guy. That's what he's got to do. And why Winky's standing there taking it is a mystery, because he can box and he can dance away from this.
Winky counters beautifully with the right hand, gets in 2 shots, and now starts to give Cozy Glenn Major some movement. Combination in the corner, Major in trouble, Freddie. Nailed with 1 shot in there. Major did a good job of coming out of there without taking too much.
Well, that's one of those things where you do in the first round, where you throw a lot of punches. You don't care if many of them land, and many of them did not land in that exchange. But it makes you feel better. This guy's showing off. Winky Wright is showing off before a hometown crowd here.
Looks very sharp as we have 30 seconds to go in round 1, and it's been Winky Wright's round. Domination right from the opening bell. He lands a couple of lazy right hands there.
Well, it's a round of total domination by Winky Wright. Major trying manfully, but outclassed.
Final 10 seconds of round 1. Winky Wright showing his talents here in the opening round of a scheduled 6-rounder. Round 2 from the Tampa Convention Center. Winky Wright in the black trunks and Cozy Glenn Major in the blue trunks with the white stripe. First round clearly for Winky Wright.
No question about it. 10-9 based on speed, based on accuracy, and just based on superior boxing skill.
Slow start for Cozy Glenn Major in round one. Winky Wright really feeling his oats as he was throwing combinations, showing off a little bit. Had that rally in the corner, but to Major's credit, he was able to block most of those punches, as Wright might have been a little careless there when he had an opportunity to score big.
Well, to Major's credit, he's trying to make a fight out of it by punching. Whenever Wright stands still and he can get hold of him, he's going to punch. He may not have enough to hurt Wright. That's a different proposition, but he's at least trying to put some hurt on Wright. Wright is just digging to the body, and that's going to kill the Shinnigan.
Combination scores against Glenn Major. Winky Wright again picking up the action where he left off in round one, dancing away and throwing punches as he goes backwards. Glenn Major has never been off his feet as a pro, so he does have a track record for staying power.
But he's only had 5 fights. You're talking about a guy that's outside the door knocking in to get into boxing.
Right hand over the top, raises the head of Glenn Major.
What's impressive on Winky is that he goes to the body. He just doesn't pardon him. He keeps on going to the body. For a guy with just 4 fights to dig to the body as well as Wright did shows you a lot of promise.
Appears more determined to throw the power punches now. We saw him in previous fights, a little more dancing, even though he had 3 knockouts from his 4 fights as a pro.
That's dictated by your opponent. This guy's a standing target. When you got a guy standing still, you can afford to tee off.
Major coming forward, trying to make the fight of it in the center of the ring, but getting tagged as he comes in. Now Winky heavies up and lands a left-right combination. Minute to go in round 2, scheduled for 6 in the middleweight division. Winky Wright in the black trunks doing most of the damage. As a game, Glenn Major now coming on a little bit. Low blow from Winky Wright. It's a warning from the referee.
Major tries to go to the head. He has no idea of body punching. He's just trying to get this guy out of there, and he's not going to do it this way.
Short right hand scores from Winky Wright as Major comes in. Wide open to the body, and Wright's been taking advantage of it through the first 2 rounds. 30 seconds to go in round 2.
Well, you would characterize this bout so far as a willing club fighter against a prospect.
Right hand to the nose. Winky Wright again scoring with the right hand at will. Hasn't had to use the left jab too much. 10 seconds to go in round 2. And we'll be back for the 3rd round. Winky Wright and Glenn Major in a moment. Center set for round 3 now, scheduled for 6. Our opening bout on tonight's card, as Winky Wright in the black trunks has taken the first 2 rounds rather easily from Cozy Glenn Major, whereas the blue trunks with the white trim.
Well, his corner did something good. He kept the instructions very, very simple. As you see, my score is 20-18 for Winky Wright. No question about that. Corner work consists of leaving something in a fighter's mind that he can do. Straight right hand with a hook out. Oh, what a shot by Winky Wright.
Wright tags Major with another right hand. It's been the pattern on this fight so far, as Wright goes in now trying to finish off Major. Major against the ropes, blocking most of those punches. And Brian Gary separates and brings him to the center of the ring. This is a game fighter, Cozy Glenn Major. Having just 4 fights, but he's trying to make a war of this thing.
He's punching, but the defensive superiority of Winky Wright is so evident. His reflex is so much faster. He has so much more boxing sense of where he is and how he punches. But Major has taken some pretty good shots, and once he takes a shot and Wright scrambles all over him, he misses a lot of those shots. It looks good. It's going to look good for the judges, but they're not doing a great deal of damage to Glenn Major.
You have to be a good closer if you're going to be a solid professional, especially in the middleweight ranks. And Winky Wright has yet to prove that in this fight. Well, he's had Major a couple of times. Opportunities have presented themselves for Winky Wright to come in and do some serious damage to Major. He's been unable to connect at those times.
Well, he's 4-0, and he's trying too hard for a knockout. He better pace himself a little bit, or he'll start huffing and puffing here.
Right hands. Throwing some tapping shots now from the inside. Major really doesn't have much steam on his punches, though, and hasn't since the fight started. You can see his footwork. He's also off balance, kind of lazy coming in there.
Being charitable. Footwork. Is there footwork going on in here?
Very much of a plodding fighter.
That's a street fighter.
Winky Wright was able to stand in there.
His feet are all wrong. His posture's all wrong. He's just fighting, not boxing.
30 seconds, 20 seconds now to go in round 3 as Major turns away from the action for a moment. Another round in the bank for Ronald Winky Wright. And we're going to keep it right here between rounds as referee Brian Gary has called for time from the officials, and he's going to take a look at the right eye of Cozy Glenn Major.
Take a look where this blood's coming from. Is that coming from the inside of the eye?
A cut now from the right eye, and they're examining it in the corner.
Where is that, Jack? Cut of the lid margin. Can you see Glenn? Yeah.
Glenn, I don't
sure?
like the look of that, okay?
Oh, I see where it is.
Yeah,
right
it's right
there.
at the lid margin.
Can you see all right with that?
Wait, what do you say on stop? Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Can you see? You want to fight? Take a close look at that.
10 more minutes? Let's go 10 seconds more.
10, 20, there's about 10 seconds.
Okay, let's go through the round.
Go through the round. Over here.
Dr. Steve Eugenio said there's a cut on the inside of the lid. Let him go to the end of this round, and then they'll decide whether to stop the fight or not. It looks like they will stop it.
And we headed to Winky Wright's corner now. And Winky Wright has pretty much controlled the action right from the start. He hasn't been hit in this fight yet by anything serious. And we go over to the other corner now to see what's going on with Glenn Major and that cut that's on the inside of the eyelid. Nearly forced the fight to be stopped towards the end of round 3. Let's listen in.
Right at the margin. See, it's right.
You're the man.
I'm going to recommend, because of the type of cut that it is.
Okay, you're going to stop it. Come on. Come on.
I'll recommend it.
Come on. If you recommend, you're the doctor. I'm not going to go over right. Come on.
And your lid will be wide open if you hit you right. That cut is up and down.
Is that still bleeding hard?
You just put pressure on it. He'd be all right.
Let's take this right hook. Look at it. It's all arm punch, but boy, does it look great. I mean, it's not the kind that does a great deal of danger. But this fight's going to be stopped because of the danger of the lid just flopping open. Let's take another look at this. You see, complete distance is the difference in that. Winky just moves away from the punch. You're going to stop this because the cut endangers the eye, and he's so far behind, there's no reason to continue.
A technical knockout scored by Ronald Winky Wright. He gets back on track. He had that broken left hand, kept him out of action for a while. He is now 5-0 as a pro, 4 of those by the knockout route. Very game effort by Cozy Glenn Major, who argued with the referee and the ring doctor, saying, I don't want to stop this fight, but I think it was a wise decision there, as the cut could endanger his future, and there's no sense sending him out there. He was losing the fight anyway, handily on the scorecard.
Absolutely. Well stopped. And that's an example of good corner work. The referee working with a doctor, working with a corner man, all agree the future of the fight is much more important in a small fight that they got going on, especially one that he's losing so badly. The left by Winky here might have caused it. It looks like everything hit him there. It looked like the thumbs and the laces hit him. It looked like all of it hit his eye, and that's probably where that cut was sustained.
A lot of danger when the laces come across the face. That appeared to be the case there. Nonetheless, a technical knockout for Ronald Winky Wright. Let's get the official decision from our ring announcer, Mark Vero.
Ladies and gentlemen, the doctor stops the bout at the start of the 4th round due to a cut eye. The blue corner is unable to continue. The winner by technical knockout in the 4th round and still undefeated, Winky Wright.
Let's take a look at this and let's see. Watch the inside of his glove. See, he's hit the laces, the tape, the thumb, all went across the eye, and that's what causes a cut of the eye. It's not intentional. It's just one of those things that happens in boxing. Well stopped by Steve Eugenio and the cornerman and the referee Brian Gary, all in accord. No sense to let this continue, and it stopped.
And it seemed like the fight was Winky Wright's to win anyway. We had him ahead 30-27, and coming up, Melvin Lewis and Rick Anthony.